At the weekly Meet the People session at Bukit Batok East, most residents are there to seek financial help. The area's MP says some have also brought up the issue of occasional friction between foreigners and citizens, but by and large, the two groups have learnt to live together. MP Halimah Yaakob says integration isn't easy, but one thing that would help is better coordination of policies across ministries, and she hopes the new agency will address this.
In the last few years, if we look at the way we've handled this issue, is that we are very focused on GDP growth, but somehow there's lack of coordination in ensuring that there's a holistic way in which we approach this. What does the Ministry of Manpower have to say? What does the Ministry of Education, what do they feel? What kind of pressures will this bring to Singapore?
In September, the government revealed for the first time the number of applications for permanent residency received and approved. This analyst says such transparency is welcomed and that more should be done to reassure Singaporeans they remain the government's priority.
Singaporeans who feel that they have a stake in this country, who are concerned about the impact of migration, they naturally like to know, how has that changed, in the last 6 months or so. If they could make it on a periodical basis, I think that can actually become very reassuring.
MPs say community integration activities have helped, and for former Chinese national Jack Wu, integration is also a matter of time. After 14 years, he says Singapore has become home.
Changing my passport is just a formality. But before I changed my passport and joined Singapore as a citizen, people already recognize me as a Singaporean.
Figures released in the third quarter of 2010 showed that for the first time, Singapore's total population had crossed the 5 million mark. Now, the growth of foreign nationals in Singapore has slowed sharply, partly as a direct result of government policies. But with 1/3 of the population foreign-born, observers say that the challenge for policymakers going forward is to create enough common ground to bring this diversity together.